To learn and not to do is really not to learn. To know and not to do is really not to know. There's a natural tendency for people to believe that they know more than they actually do. William Shakespeare expressed this when he wrote, "The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool." This is the Dunning-Kruger Effect, and it is very much related to learning and not doing, or immersing yourself in the topic. As you can see in the graph, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing because it can mislead people into thinking they're experts. This is exactly how book summaries can be very, very dangerous. They give you bite-sized pieces of brain-teasing information, creating a feeling that you're learning and gaining a lot from it. But in reality, you only get a false sense of competency. I noticed this while watching videos on book summaries after reading the actual books they were talking about. The summaries barely scratched the surface of the concepts, but I remember a time when I watched these videos thinking, wow, I learned so much from them. Even after reading 50 plus books over a year, I realized I still have a long journey ahead of me since I have yet to take action on all the things I've learned. Having experienced this, I noticed different levels of immersion. The lowest level of immersion is a simple book summary. They're usually brief and a bullet structure, and it feels good after learning it. The next level would be actual explanations of the concept. This takes one of those bullets from the summary and actually elaborates what it means in depth. Done right, this can definitely be very immersive, but a lot more information is introduced, so it can be difficult to retain all of it. A close level above in terms of immersion would be analogies, anecdotes, or stories. There's an interesting effect that when a well-constructed story is told, you can imagine it and even feel what it's like to be the characters in the story. It can be an explanation like the level below, but there are added elements that really help immerse you even further, using your senses and imagination. Most books have explanations that include stories, anecdotes, and analogies, supplementing those explanations. A lot of people consider them fluff, but really, it's there to help you spend more time truly understanding the concepts by immersing yourself. The final level of immersion is actually doing it. You're taking the concepts and applying them firsthand. In a way, teaching can also be included in this level, since you really have to immerse yourself in understanding the concepts if you want to teach it well. This level of immersion is where true understanding is found. Anybody that's learned a skill that required years to become proficient at understands this very well. The same idea applies to the concepts you read in self-improvement books. It takes a whole lot of practice of the concepts before you truly understand them. You'll find that when you're trying to apply the concepts, your understanding of them starts to change and develop. For a lot of people, they never get to the doing part and cling on to that false sense of competency in their own minds. No matter how valuable the information is, if no action is taken, it will be close to useless. This is why I highly recommend first reading the book and then taking action on it as soon as you can. This way, you are experiencing the high levels of immersion and truly internalizing what you've learned. With that said, I do still believe it's better than nothing to at least know about the principles. Knowing is the first step. My role is to communicate these ideas with a unique perspective so that people get to the first step. My future content will include some interesting book summaries, so please keep this in mind and remember, I made this video because I really want you guys to take that extra step to spend more time in the final level of immersion than the others. Next video should be fun.